This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook live show. It is Thursday. We got a 6-game DraftKings main slate to break down for all of you here. Grande, a returning Thursday for a couple of key players here. Trae Young, obviously making his Wizards debut. We also got word that Cooper Flagg going to be active for the Dallas Mavericks here tonight after a lengthy layoff for him here. Should we address the preview show comment section today, or
So it was a tough loss. We all suffer. There's always wins and losses in life, John, and it wasn't my finest hour, but you know what? We move on, and I was considering being questionable going into the show, but I'm playing through the injury.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Keith maybe was going to pop in here. Maybe Keith knows a little bit more hip hop than the two of us. I know none, so that was I fully was relying on you on the Joe Budden.
It was a bad look.
Pump it up fiasco from this morning's show. But it made for a great comment section, and we're always here to kind of entertain you guys in different ways. So if it's at the expense of us, perfect. That's even better. We do appreciate all of you guys who do tune in each and every day to both the preview show and the live show. You can hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It is a free way to support the work we do here. We also, of course, have the All-Pro package still on sale for you guys. For our YouTube audience, you get 50% off that first month. fantasyalarm.com/YouTube, promo code YT50. Rolly in the chat saying, let's get that Robert De Niro. Spin the block saying, what's up? Vic, who commented on this morning show, says evening. Crab Shangoon gives us the what do we call this one? What's the what do we call this?
That's like the Hallelujah one, right?
Usually that's kind of what I think it is too, or like high fives. I don't know, something like that.
No, because no one goes double high. You don't go double high five.
You do double high fives.
Yeah, like if you're playing like volleyball or something.
Yeah, maybe you're playing some sports.
He's out here in the comment section. He's not.
Brandon saying it's showtime. Davis saying it's nice of you to join us. Missed the Davis. He doesn't have his usual avatar here, but Crush and them are going into the WWE Hall of Fame. So you get some guy in here, a beer o'clock, a little Diet Coke. Always got a nice cold DC for me.
For somebody.
I'm a big DC drinker, as you guys probably have picked up on here. Our guy I see through you. Greg saying Klingon screwed us. Listen, depending where you were, we probably got saved from that one last night. But yeah, he had 9 rebounds. He was well on his way over the 13.5 and decided to start throwing some elbows. So that was unfortunate. He's here for every show. And Klingon did us dirty. Yep, that's true. But Grande went 3 for 3. Obviously we lost a Klingon play, but we hit the other plays outside of Derek White. So it wasn't a bad betting night. We'll get back into it. Grande's got some picks in there now. I got some picks I'm going to throw in after the show, and we'll talk about some of those as well throughout the evening here. I have no idea what those hands mean. It just feels right. I agree with you. I agree with you as well. Sometimes things just feel right. Like Cade Cunningham at $11,200 gets a matchup against San Antonio, and Victor Wembanyama at 10-9. Those are your top 2 price plays here on the slate. James does always love to argue. That's true. He does. We like the banter. we like to go back and forth.
Wait, what were we just arguing? I don't even remember. Was there just an argument?
Me on what I thought there we go. See, now he's got the avatar. Probably arguing me what the hands meant, because I said he can't go double high fives.
Oh yeah, you can't. No, well, yeah,
it's true.
Sure,
Grande loves to argue with me. That's been the theme of these last couple of shows, apparently.
I don't think it's been the last couple. I feel like that's just the relationship that we've built.
As I've said, how boring of a show would it be if we just said yes to everything we each other said? You're here for altering takes. Otherwise, what's the point?
Dave's off his burner now.
It's true. That's true. We do agree on things, however, though. We like Cade Cunningham at $11,200. He's got double doubles in like 8 straight games. So if you wanted to go there against San Antonio, certainly can. You do have a returning Cooper Flagg at $8,900. Trae Young, no price discount, going to be limited at 86. Amin Thompson, do we get any updates on Houston for today here?
Nope.
Okay. He's $8,000. Those are your top 4 guards. Is only Cade playable here?
And even then, it's like, it's fine. It's fine. Not a position I've necessarily spent up on today. I don't want to play Mo Bamba today.
Okay.
And that's correlated mostly. I mean, Mo Bamba was getting a lot of ownership earlier. I guess it's kind of fallen off. I don't want to play the Mo Bamba lights,
Yeah. I was a little surprised to see once again Bryce Sensabaugh having ownership, because how many times are we going to go down that road again here?
I don't necessarily have a ton of interest in K. One, because no value's opened up right now.
Sure.
And I don't think we need to like force Cade in like a tougher spot into our lives when we don't have value. And if you're like even looking at value right now, the highest rostered value play is Anthony Gill.
Yeah. ...
And Keldon Johnson, who's off the bench for the Spurs, right? Like and I don't hate either of those players, but it's just the state of the slate currently.
Yeah, Claire Ware is the highest.
Right. Khalil Ware too. I was saying like, because 11-2, like, I
mean, he's still 20% owned. He's the highest spend up outside of Anthony Edwards, who's just a few more percentage points ahead of him. Obviously, Edwards is also like $2,000 cheaper.
$1,500 cheaper. So yeah. I don't really care for the top tier of point guard. Cade is fine if you're comfortable getting uncomfortable with the value. Obviously, Amen Thompson would be a little bit interesting if Alperen Şengün and or Jabari Smith were to sit. But that's really all I have. Cooper, they already said, is likely to face a minutes limit. And we already know Trey's only playing 17 to 20 minutes. So don't have a ton of interest there. Cade I'm fine. I'll be under the field if it's 20%. And Amen Thompson looks pretty good if there's other players out.
Well, Keontae George is out. You have Isaiah Collier here at $7,800 against Washington. If the minutes are gonna peak 30 for him,
can't do it. I don't think. I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know, man.
It's an elite spot. If the minutes are going to be there for him, I think there's worthy of the play.
I just remember the conversation that we had, right, when he was playing 40 minutes was like, well, he needed 40 minutes to like do this stuff.
Sure.
Because he has been a better scorer, but he isn't an elite scorer. He doesn't score in volume because
doesn't shoot threes.
Doesn't shoot threes, yeah, and like doesn't rebound. He is really good passing the basketball, right? He's
been getting to the free throw line a lot, and obviously there's no rim protection in Washington, so that could also play up to it. So like we look at his shot volume, you're like, well, 8-10 shots, but he's also adding 8 to 10 free throws in 3 of the last 5 games as well. So that kind of boosts up the shot attempt total, right? So
I wish I knew what the minutes would be, is all I'd say, because he hasn't played more than 33 since the All-Star break.
Right.
And in that game, he did get 40 fantasy points. But like, that's basically value.
Yeah. George was just in those last 2 games. I think you take George out of the equation, maybe he gets up to 33 to 35 again.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the games prior, and he played no more than 33.
Sure.
Like he wasn't in the New Orleans games, and he wasn't in the Houston game.
Who else are they down now, though, right? Like they had Vince Williams, right? They don't have him anymore.
Yeah, but now they have Harkless, and they have Hinson, and they have... Yeah. I am not, like, fully saying no. I just, like, I don't need a $7,800 player in my life that I don't know who's going to play minutes.
Sure.
I don't know what the minute range is going to be. At least, like, with Keontae when he's played, it's been, like, 30, right? Ace Bailey, he plays 30. Everyone else, Collier plays maybe 30. And he's just not as good per minute for, like, an 8K player. I get it. The matchup is great and all that. If you are playing tournaments, it's more comfortable. If you're playing single entry, that's the streets that we live in.
Yep.
I'm not as comfortable getting to a $700-800 color.
If we are working our way down from an ownership perspective, Jalen Suggs is the chalk here at point guard, almost 27%. Darren Fox just under him at 20%. Tyler Hero at 18%. So sort of this group around under Collier, under Quickly is where the next run comes from.
Yeah, and the thing we'll mention about Quickly here is that he could be really interesting if Brandon Ingram is ultimately ruled out, right? We're still waiting on the Ingram news. So even throw Quickly into the equation. I think Hero, looks fine. We continuously say the same thing over and over again. There's just nothing like peripherally, really, on a day-to-day basis. And he could score the basketball at a pretty high clip, but he just hasn't. So
yeah, he's had a little bit of some poor luck with the assists. He had 3 assists on 8 chances against Houston. He had 2 on 5 against Brooklyn. He had 11 rebound chances last game against Brooklyn. Only came down with 3 of them. So there's opportunities for peripheral stats. He's just not cashing in on them yet.
Yeah, and he plays with Bam Adebayo and Khalil Ware. He's not going to have any rebound. Whether he has the chances or not, he's not getting them.
Yeah.
So I'm good with it. Kind of indifferent. I think I like a lot of other Heat players that are cheaper than Tyler Hero.
Sure.
I think Podziemski is pretty interesting. I know the spot is pretty atrocious, but they're really shorthanded tonight. And we saw Podziemski play 37 minutes and kind of they are just letting him play. 30 plus minutes in basically every game since the break. They've only gotten less healthy since then. The scoring has ticked up. We know he is a really good rebounder. He is a good playmaker as well. So I think Podziemski is interesting in tournaments. I find the Jalen Suggs ownership a little bit interesting. He's a really good fantasy player, but if Anthony Black and Wendell Carter Jr. play, are we sure Jalen Suggs at $6,600 is
probably less if Black
30?
plays? I think there's a path still, even if Wendell Carter plays. The assist numbers for him have been pretty good. The assist chance numbers have been pretty good. So if he's going to be playing the minutes in this game, ends up being competitive, which is the other thing. He's been in some non-competitive games, so the minutes haven't really peaked yet. But this is still a guy that last game against Washington only had a 20% usage rate, but he had a 33 and 36% usage rate the 2 games prior. So I just think that there's some potential there for him.
One of those is fluky because he played 13 minutes. So I'm not going to give him the 30.
Well, he had 33% against Detroit.
I'm not saying he's a low usage player.
Oh, there it is right there. Anthony Black is in for today. Dude, and Wendell Carter both in.
I'm not going to play
And I agree with you now. Now that Anthony Black is in, I'm less bullish on Suggs there.
If the ownership stays, he's not playing a lot of minutes, which is the thing. He's not playing a lot of minutes since he returned from injury. I'm not playing a full strength team, a Magic team, anyone $6,600 who might only play 20. If I play Paolo, I know at least the ceiling is 38 minutes. Paolo might knock him off.
Downgrade Paolo now a little bit though that Black is back in the lineup.
Paolo actually has really good numbers with Anthony Black. If you remember, we talked about that the other day when I was talking Desmond Bane, how Paolo's numbers are less correlating with Anthony Black off the floor. It didn't matter. He went crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm less bullish on Suggs. I think Anthony Black is a little bit interesting because Dallas allows so many points in the paint, and Black is someone who attacks the rim pretty often.
Think there'd be any minutes restriction here, missing a couple of games? Of quad injury?
It's possible. Let's see. They just They don't say anything about a limit. I don't know. I don't know. If not, then if we don't get word, I think he'd probably we assume he plays full complement of minutes.
All right. We're already with De'Aaron Fox, Reed Shepard, Anthony Melton, Brendan Williams here. Actually, Brendan Williams probably no go now that Flag is back, but Fox, Shepard, Melton.
Yeah, and Williams got downgraded today too to questionable, so that's working against him as well. I think Fox is too cheap. It's a pretty bad spot, but the price is ridiculously low. They just are involved in so many blowouts all the time. You just don't get to see full complement of minutes from Fox. TBD on Reed Shepard. If one of Houston starters are ruled out, then I have a lot of interest. If nobody is ruled out and everybody's ruled in, I'm probably just ignoring at 6,300 unless Houston made a lineup change and moved Reed into the starting lineup, because we've seen the minutes are inconsistent off the bench, and at 6,300, if they're fully healthy, it's hard to trust. And then Melton in tournaments always, especially with the minutes trending up 27, 28 in 2 of the last 3. I'd be okay with Melton in tournaments.
Okay. Work our way down again into the value range here. I mean, from a value chalk perspective, I mean, there's Jack Jonas, EJ Harkless, Davion Mitchell, Terrence Mann. I mean, those are guys that are all getting up over 10%. Are you playing like Dylan Harper or Troy Ori or anything like that instead?
No. I don't hate Davion in like cash and single entry. Miami looks really good today. The Harkless one is tough. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I could live without it. I mean, those 2 games where he had big fantasy performances, he was super efficient. The 2 games where he sucks, he went 1 of 5 and 0 of 5, and that's kind of why he's a 2-way player. Yep. So I don't love EJ Harkless, but the matchup is good, and he should start here. I think Shed and Walter would be interesting candidates if Brandon Ingram is ultimately ruled out. I think they probably close with Jamal Shed.
You got to take on the 18%, 17% for.
Yeah, I mean he played. So he played like all the he played like the entire blowout. He played the final 13 minutes of the game. He played about 10 first half minutes. It was like, and he closed over Davion, but it was like a minute of action, 42 seconds of action of the first half. I mean, he's playing over Drew Smith for what that's worth. There's no Simone, who played 20 minutes last game, so there's more minutes to be had. It's not just Norm. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Okay. $3,400 in a great, I mean, in a spot that, like, I'm not going to say is going to blow out, because it may or may not, but, sure. You know, it's a 13-point spread, so he's in the rotation, and if it blows out, he plays in blowouts, so, you know, you could take that shot on him and hope that it blows out, but, yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay. Anything else to point guard?
Minnesota stuff. If we get we got the Ant midday downgrade, so like
back to back, slates. So,
which they did. Remember they did this earlier in the year, and eventually they sat him.
Yeah,
they were like, "All right, dude, you got to sit one of these games. Like we're requiring you to like take a break." So we're obviously just monitoring that game in general. We're just big time implications on the slate.
Yep. Shooting guard. Again, obviously Anthony Edwards and Brandon Ingram, your top 2 price plays, both questionable for today in the same matchup. But if Ant played, we'd absolutely be interested. If Ingram played, would you be interested at 8,800 though?
No.
Okay.
I know that like almost came to bite us last game because he had like 27 at half and then ended up with 31.
Yeah.
And that's obviously one good half, one bad.
Yeah.
But no. I would almost play every other Raptor in the starting lineup.
We'll hit Anthony's question here quickly. What's your top point guard not named Cade? Did FanDuel include the late slates or no?
No. FanDuel. Let's look. FanDuel point guard, probably. I really like De'Aaron Fox price. Melton's under 6K over there. Probably Fox. I think Fox in tournaments is one of the better plays on both sites. He's under 7K on FanDuel too.
Sure.
Hero 73. I mean, that's I'll say De'Aaron Fox in tournaments.
Yeah. If obviously like Edwards are get ruled out, like Io could be like a huge
4,300 point guard shooting guard on FanDuel.
Yeah. So if you can wait on the Edwards news and he gets ruled out, I might go Io there, Anthony. All right, so top two guys are there. You have Des and Bane. Someone in the chat said Bane was a bit too expensive, but everybody back now. $7,900 for him. We've talked Hero Pajemski. We have Castle at 69, Tower Eason at 65. What are our thoughts here?
Yeah, I actually agree. I actually saw somebody in chat had said something Paolo or bust basically on Orlando, and I actually agree with that fully. Because Paolo just has the highest ceiling, and they're basically full strength, just missing Franz Wagner. But it's hard to like trust anyone else. Bane at 79 with everyone back is too expensive. We talked Hero. Pajemski we talked. I think Castle, you could say similar things about him that we did about Fox. Great tournament play at the price. Nobody's getting here. Or not a lot of people are getting here. What's his price? Or actually, what's his ownership on DraftKings? I was looking at FanDuel.
For Bane?
No, for Castle.
Okay, so it is
15%, 16%. Yeah, I think Castle's pretty good. And Tari, if people are out.
Okay. A lot of these other guys we kind of hit on. There's Shepard, Melton. Sensabaugh is here at 58. Capel Larson. Christie can't really get there anymore. Not that we were playing him often anyways. Is the bottom half of this mid-range appeal to you at all?
I just want to touch on a couple comments here.
Yep.
The Prince came in and said, Cade top play. We just talked about it. I don't believe so. Thank you, Anthony Black and Wendell Carter are in. And Anthony, absolutely not. Can't trust Trae Young. He's playing 17 to 20 minutes, and Cooper Flagg is also going to be limited. Not playing either of them. We'll have zero exposure to both. Even in multi-entry stuff, won't play either of them. 5K range. I feel like fading Bryce Sensabaugh every slate has not hurt me.
Has not hurt, but giving you an edge on the field, actually. Complete opposite.
And I completely from a like why the field keeps clicking this button, I understand.
If he's not starting, you can't touch him.
But if he's not, dude, if they mess with his minutes almost as much as anybody else on the team, right?
Yeah. Playing contra over him and things like that.
I just, it's a great spot. I just, at 30% rostered or nearly 30%, I just don't have a lot of interest. D, why do you think Fox is going to play 20 minutes, if you don't mind me asking? Because I don't necessarily agree with that. As the GOAT just the gift that keeps on giving is I see through you.
Hit up the Prince this time with the free membership there.
He did hit up the Prince.
EFU or FU, however.
No, that's definitely just FU.
Yeah, I assume do it like FU too. I try to change it up. Cameron, Morgan, and not explicable. There we go. Congratulations, everybody. 1 month free. Thank courtesy of our guy. I see through you in here.
Spam the emojis. Spam the emojis. I don't understand why Fox would only play 20 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. If the game's competitive, there's just no way.
He played 20 minutes in a 40-point blowout. Like that's why that happened last time. But that's not like played 25 in a blowout, played 30 in a blowout, 30. Like it just in a competitive game, played 33 in this same game. So
yeah, I'm just like, I understand okay. Nothing else in the 5K range for me. Not Pelle Larson, is whatever to me at this price.
Yeah, you mentioned Keldon earlier. Keldon's 24%.
Yeah, I mean, no Harry B, which only the second time we could say this since 2021.
Back-to-back games.
Back-to-back games. The second time. Yeah, the second time. The first time was did you see the report? Why? He woke up from a nap.
Yeah.
With a hurt ankle. Have you ever woke up from a nap with a hurt ankle?
Honestly, yeah. Probably. At this point in my life, yeah.
So
I've woken up with a lot of random pains.
So
washed.
So washed. Yeah, I think Keldon looks good, dude. Shooting guard, small forward, 3,800. I wasn't like exactly like trying to crap on him to start the show. I was just saying, like, he's good. He's a good value. Should play a good role. Has played a good role all year with Harrison Barnes. So, I do like Keldon at 39. And like, there's the stuff in between is like all kind of gross. Like, hard to get to Jaden Hardy. We talked Harkless. Gary Payton, if he plays coming off an injury, gives me
we just got that he's out.
Okay. Honestly, good.
No Richard, no Peyton, no Moody today for the Warriors.
No zinger with his mysterious illness.
Yeah, not PTOS after everybody said it was.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Or POTS, whatever it is,
yeah. Yeah. Duncan 42 is gross.
I mean, like Cody Williams is getting a little ownership.
No.
I know you hate that, but he's 12%.
Those 12% people are going to lose.
Already Terrence Mann 6%. Would you go Terrence Mann?
I play Terrence Mann before I play Cody Williams, dude. Cody Williams at 4,100, 12% of the field. They're looking at it like, hell yeah, brother, fire him up. Guy has like the lowest potential of like any starter in the NBA. Like, if I were to ever compare anyone to Tony Snell, this is as close as it gets.
All right.
No disrespect to Tony Snell.
I mean, that's pretty disrespectful to Cody Williams.
To Tony Snell. No, Cody Williams is not Jalen Williams. I'll tell you that. No offense. Maybe Cody Williams would be good one day.
Yeah. Gotta get him on the Thunder. Maybe he would be.
He's bad. He's a bad DFS play. He's just a bad DFS play. Is there anything else we'd play at shooting guard? I don't.
I mean, again, Dylan Harper's here.
Think so. Dude, I said this, I think it's fine. I just don't know what the minutes look like in a competitive game. We saw him play 19 in the same game environment.
Yep.
But there's no Harrison Barnes, so that factors in a little bit, right?
Yep. Small forward. Kevin Durant, name hit the chat a bunch a little bit ago. He's only 17% though. The field is not real. It's going again down towards like the mid range for this position here. So Durant 17%, $9,100, and it drops down. You have Cooper Flagg. We expect to be limited. Michael Porter Jr. Nobody's clicking his name today. He is 2%. So I mean, it's kind of the mid range or bust right now.
Yeah, I do think KD is interesting.
Because he's people out, right? You want people out here?
You would like people out, yeah. Like if Şengün's out, it's easy click, right? If Şengün's out, easy click Durant. Would definitely like people out at 9,100 though. No on Cooper, MPJ in tournaments, you could definitely play him. Talk Bane. RJ would look really solid if there's no Brandon Ingram. Also, RJ Barrett's minutes are so back. 37 minutes last game. That was the first time he's got there since returning from injury. So I like that. Najee's expected to play, but it's probably a little too expensive with Coop back. I think Ace Bailey is safe. I continue to say that. He's going to play 30 minutes. He's going to look much better without Keontae George. This is probably the first Utah guy I'd be comfortable playing.
Okay. We just got official Cooper flag. He's going to play 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's unplayable.
Yeah.
Absolutely unplayable. Even at 25, unplayable at the price. So yeah, I think Ace Bailey at 65 looks good. And then, if you have the tough part about tonight's slate is if the slate locks without the Toronto Minnesota news, you're probably gonna have some you're gonna be sweating out that those 7:30, like have a lot of exposure to 7:30 because you could just really miss out. It's kind of like last night's winning lineups, John.
Yeah.
Were your wait for don't play that early Thunder Knicks game, and then as soon as Denny's ruled out, everyone pivots to Portland, and like Grant had 50 and Drew had 50 and all three of those. And I think there's another Portland, Rob Williams had 40. Like there was Portland opened up, which is, a great strategy, but we'll be sweating it if we don't get the Ant news or the Ingram news going into that. But yeah, Jaden, if Jaden would be a really good play if there's no Ant.
Okay. There's Jaquez, Asor Thompson, 57, Devin Vassell, Will Riley's where the ownership is at $5,600. Middleton's 53. Anything there for you?
Yeah, I like Jaquez in tournaments. I think the role looked really good last game. I think it's starting to look a lot better without Norm. They need more creation. Like I know they got Hero back, but they just need more. Without Simone, without Norm, without Jovic, they're going to ask Jaquez to kind of fill into that role he was filling into earlier in the year. Everything downhill, play make, score, pass. So I like Jaquez quite a bit at 58. Asar has a very high ceiling and a really low floor. Just seeing they benched him in this same spot. He played 18 minutes, didn't play any in the fourth. Doesn't mean anything in this one, right? Like he might not get benched in this one and he might have 50 fantasy points because he's guarding Fox and he's guarding Castle and he's a maniac defensively. So I think Asar is playable, but only in tournaments. Devin Vassell has not missed a shot in, a week and a half. That happens for people who are really good at shooting the basketball, up to 39% from three this year. He plays with like three other really good basketball players. He gets open shots. So yeah, I think Vassell. I think there was a Vassell question, John, if you can find it somewhere, not too far away.
Let's see. We had Max Christie viable question. Nope. We had Jaquez, Thompson, or Vassell here.
Yeah, literally the three we just talked about. I'd probably go Jaquez. If this is a tournament question, I would literally rank them how they are listed on DraftKings. Jaquez, Thompson, Vassell. I think Vassell is probably the safest of the three. I just basically wouldn't play Thompson in cash.
Okay.
That would be how it is. And then Will Riley, I would add into that mix too. Even with Trey back, we know Will Riley's just going to play. Keyshawn George is out, and they're just going to play Will Riley like all the minutes.
Yeah. Again, other Wizards guys are getting a little bit of ownership. Koulibaly, let's see, that's the other Champagny. Julian Champagny is getting 10%. Najee Marshall's 2%.
Yeah, we touched on Najee a little bit. It's just a healthier team, right? Najee is back, PJ is back, Cooper's back, Middleton's in the equation now. Clay is healthy again. Just a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Like Anthony just asked Christie.
Yeah.
No, never. No, not at the price. No.
We weren't playing him really when other guys were out.
No, another guy I just haven't felt like we've needed to.
Sure. Well, if we go to power forward.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Your Champagny shout, Julian. Yep. I like that.
You actually liked them? You actually liked the Champagny shout this time?
Yeah, no Harry B. I think the minutes could look. There's like multiple ways it could go, right? Champagny could get extended. Kelvin could get extended. Harper could extended. Could they go double big with Cornette? Like, there's multiple avenues San Antonio could go. But for as much as I've hated on the guy this year, he has flashed like massive ceiling games, right? Yeah. He's playing with a lot of elite players, and with a fully healthy roster in this spot, he played 36 minutes against the Spurs. Another guy who's just kind of been victim to all these blowouts where he just hasn't been needed a lot. In the competitive games, he's played 28 and 36 minutes since the All-Star break. So I actually don't hate Julian Champagny. So I do like that shout. Yeah. I wanted to talk Nate Williams a little bit, the Golden State. They are pretty shorthanded. They have their G League guys available. So they have Nate Williams, they have Malivi Lyons available. Let me just make sure. I think they had whoever their other two-way, which I think was like LJ Cryer, I think his name is. I'm pretty sure the last injury report, that guy was also available. So they still have like 10 available. I guess I don't know. Crier's not showing up on the injury report for me. So maybe available, maybe not. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 available. And Pajemski, Spencer, Melton are your guards. And then they have like all like big men, right? It's like Draymond, Post, Guy Santos, and Al Horford. Williams could play like a pretty solid amount of minutes tonight. Played 21 the other night, was like in the rotation, wasn't just a, hey, you're playing. No, he played in every quarter. He did obviously close the game in blowout, sure, but he did play in the first quarter. So just throwing that out there, like they could play some Williams here. Also, a little confusing. His name, I think, is Jonathan. I don't know if they pronounce it Jonathan and it's spelled like G or Jeen, but also then it's Nate. So I don't know which. Some sites go by the Jonathan Williams and some go by Nate. So I wonder if there was like some type of like.
What do we have? Do we have him showing up for our projections? I guess would be the question.
We'll have to check that. Because I projected him today. I projected Jonathan Williams today, so we'll have to check that.
Yeah, my money would be probably missing. We'll probably have to go do some tech work to get him thrown in there for today before roster lock.
TC, what did you say 20 minutes ago?
Probably Nate Williams. I think you said it.
Yeah, well, we're just going position by position here, brother. We're just working. We're working through the positions.
Believe it or not, Nate Williams is showing up. We're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Power forward. Banchero 96, Scotty Barnes 87, Randall $8,000. Obviously, if there's no Anthony Edwards, Randall at 8K would be pretty fine. But you obviously mentioned you like some Banchero here. He's only 12%. Scotty Barnes is the most ownership for a spend up at 15%.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Paolo, the thing that we've have to keep in mind is how good he is right now at getting to the rim and getting fouled. And Dallas allows more points in the paint than any other team in the NBA. We've already talked about it. Paolo's fantasy numbers are positively connected to Anthony Black being on the floor. So I really like Black being in the lineup. And so I do think it's a situation where if I'm playing Orlando, I'm basically playing Paolo and then moving on. I mean, like I would take shots in large field stuff. Like if Suggs ownership comes down, I would take shots on Anthony Black and Wendell Carter and stuff. Like if I'm playing multi-entry, but if I'm just playing one or two lineups, it's like Paolo or bust for me. Scotty would look great if there's no Brandon Ingram. I think Scotty, like I know he's been on the injury report a couple times. I wonder how much this is like impacting him because he's obviously going through like a pretty tough stretch right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not really shooting, not really being aggressive. I feel like this is typically something that we go through with Scotty Barnes where he looks like what Darko said one time, one couple years ago where he said Scotty Barnes is the best player in the NBA. And then we have times where Scotty Barnes looks like Jakob Poeltl. And I don't want him to look like Jakob Poeltl if I'm paying $8,700. But if Brandon Ingram is out, I'm taking a good hard look at Scotty Barnes. And then obviously, like you mentioned, if Ant-Man's out, it's impossible not to look at Randall and not think he's one of the best plays on the slate. Hasn't played well since the All-Star break. I think we can, kind of admit that. He finally played well in the Memphis game. And his minutes are typically sky high when Ant's out because they need the offense. Brandon Williams out, by the way, for Dallas.
Yeah. Working down our way in the mid-range, Filipowski, maybe Jabari, Guy Santos, PJ Washington, Naz Reed, and Andrew Wiggins in the 6K tier.
Filipowski should play more. It was in foul trouble. I'd love to know what Utah's going to do with their centers. Kevin Love DMP'd yesterday. Does that mean Kevin Love is just firmly out of the rotation moving forward? Or does Kevin Love just not play back-to-back? So, they were resting him earlier in the year. Now they just straight DMP'd him. So that would obviously not be great. I think I saw Shibwe was listed. No, he's not listed. So they have this is the last day of Mo Bamba on his 10-day. They have Shibwe, they have K-Love, they have Filipowski. But he obviously has a really high ceiling. If Jabari plays, the only way I'd get to him is if Şengün and Amen Thompson didn't play because there's no 6,700. I mean, I know he was playing better before the injury, but I don't trust it. Guy Santos did play 31 minutes off the bench, even though, for no reason got moved to the bench. They only have 9-ish players. Malivi Leones played only a few minutes the other day. So 9.5 players kind of. I still trust Santos gets high 20s, low 30s minutes. I think you can play PJ. Only played 28 the other day, but that game got out of hand. It was his first game back. Why they didn't need to really extend him. He didn't play the final 4:28, so trending towards about 33 minutes. So I'm okay with PJ. Obviously, Naz Reid becomes interesting if Ant's out. And Andrew Wiggins is just, he's good. He's solid. It's not going to be, he seemingly at this price, when you just look through, it's not going to be disappointing. It's good. It's going to, I don't know. Everyone has your go-to restaurant. It may not be the best restaurant, but you go there and you're not going to be disappointed, right? It's I was hungry. I'm just going to go to, what's that restaurant for you, John? What's your not going to be disappointed restaurant when you go there? Or fast food?
Oh.
For me, it's Chipotle. I'm not going to be disappointed when I go to Chipotle.
I don't know. I'm local. Maybe go to the 99 restaurant.
I know what 99 is.
Yeah, pretty just standard. Get some wings and skins, and you won't be upset with it.
They just opened a restaurant that wasn't Applebee's and named it 99, even though it's Applebee's.
Yeah. Okay. Applebee's is terrible, but Applebee's would not be that for me.
It is. No, it is. It is.
Chili's used to be really good, but they closed a lot of those around. So.
Dude, you know what Chili's used to have? They were one of those come do the guac in front of you. I don't know if you're a guac guy, but they would make the guac in front of you.
The chicken bacon ranch quesadilla at Chili's slaps. So
my wife and I we would go to the guac. We would go get the guac. We'd go for the appetizers but yeah, I agree. And TC likes Chuck E. Cheese, so that's good. It's not creepy at all.
Some people like Chuck E. Cheese might have kids.
I'm just kidding. Chuck E. Cheese. I don't think I've ever had it.
Recycle their pizza, supposedly. It's
Chain pizza is the worst ever, by the way. I just
chain pizza. Yeah.
Oh, dude. No, I will not eat chain pizza.
I don't mind Pizza Hut, but
but you come from like a bad taste area of pizza. No offense.
What are you talking about?
But you don't come from New York. So like everywhere else is just bad taste.
It's this you're out of your mind. There's like 10,000 mom and pop pizza places in outside of Boston. So
yeah, it doesn't make them good.
Makes it better. But I do like pizza. Growing up, Pizza Hut buffet, can't beat it. Anyways. Where are we?
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
Will Riley was
Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, it was Wiggins.
Player. Andrew Wiggins is the fourth highest. Noah Clowney is around 20%. That's like it for guys up over 10% ownership. So you are getting some value, I guess, on these other guys if you had any interest in them.
I mean, I don't have I like the Wiggins one. I think Horford's interesting if he starts again. TBD. We never know what they're going to do about their starting lineup. Draymond looks lost. Completely lost. Toby's fine. Middleton, I don't think is going to play a lot anymore. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we talked about it on the preview show. Like, we just kind of picked Clowney as a value play because there was no value. And I think the field is just there with us. They're just like, there's nobody else.
I think that's
28 minutes.
Almost like word for word what we said, right? Like I think the field is just going to click Clowney because there's not like anything else. Like how many minutes does Leaky Black play?
Oh, I asked you this last night, and you were telling me you didn't want to play him. But
well,
he's gonna play 30. Then yeah, $3,400 versus Utah. He should be the highest rostered player on the slate.
God, I don't want that. If Anthony Gill sits, I'd be more likely to get to Leaky Black.
Sure, and I think I think if Anthony Gill gets ruled out, you'll see ownership pivot to Leaky Black here. He's 3,400. He's played 30 minutes in both games he's played.
Him and Reese will both get a lot of ownership.
Yeah, but they bumped Reese's price up, so
they did. But there's also no other values. Anthony, we'll get to your question here. Anthony's been asking us about Bam and
has he?
Bambi. Oh yeah, multiple times. And
Anthony, Anthony, nothing for nothing. I appreciate you. You watch the show. You know we go position by position.
Well, to be fair to Anthony,
he's playing on FanDuel where they're power forward eligible. So
yeah, he's asking. Yes,
but this is a DraftKings show. So we're gonna hit center.
I was giving Anthony the benefit of the doubt because Anthony is a longtime listener. He donates and big salute to Anthony. He also asked about Royal Farms fried chicken. I've never had Royal Farms fried chicken.
You know what I miss honestly around here was Boston Market, but they've closed them all because they just they got bought by private equity and they just went downhill. But there used to be a Boston Market right next to my house. It got replaced by Dave's Hot Chicken, which I don't really care for Dave's Hot Chicken, but Boston Market back in its heyday was awesome. You go get a half rotisserie chicken, some sides. It was for $8. It was the best thing you could get. So
closing Boston Market in Boston feels like you have to close Boston Market.
Well, what happened was it got bought by private equity, and they just tried to expand it, and then they made the quality worse, and it was just bad. All right, let's go to center. Where we can talk about Victor Wembanyama, Alperen Sengun, and Bam Adebayo, and Jalen Duren here up over $8,000. So
let's answer Anthony's question because it's a FanDuel question, and I actually think it's a great question. Right?
Sure.
Bam is $8,200 on FanDuel. Victor Wembanyama is $11,900. Am I?
Daryl knows. Boston Market was really was the GOAT.
I'm happy for all those Boston Market.
Daryl's never commented once. Boston Market.
Boston. See, this is why we bring. This is, all the people. We had a lot of first time commenters on the show this morning because they were shocked at the Joe Budden stuff. Someone hears something, they're like, I got to get in there.
Absolutely, dude. Boston Market cornbread, white half white chicken with mashed
sounds
potatoes.
good. Oh, love good cornbread.
That's where we went to. Alperen Şengün is in. Eamon Thompson is in. Jabari is still a game time decision.
Okay. Okay. So we're just basically deciding if Reed Shepard's going to start or not.
Correct.
And then we'll go from there. Because it's a great
it's
spot.
actually unfortunate because I would have loved to have some other guys out for Houston just to open something up here, but
something open. Yeah, for something else to open. I'm going to actually go Bam over Wemby on the FanDuel side of things.
Yeah. If you go check out the Fantasy Alarm bet tracker, Granda's got a bet in there on Bam tonight.
20.5 points. Almost 27% usage in like a lot of games in a row, 30% in a couple of his last games. The offense has ticked way up for Bam, and just has obviously an elite matchup. I am very high on Bam. We kind of commented this on the show last night. It's the part of the year too for Miami where they basically have to go and get out of the play-in because they constantly live in play-in purgatory.
Yeah.
The last decade, and so or whatever since the play-in began, and they're not far out of the 6 seed and honestly the 5 seed, and coincidentally come out of the break competitive games. Bam's at 36, 35 minutes without Norm. So I am fully in on Bam.
Yeah. Again, we've been calling him out now for a little bit. I have no problem going right back there. But yeah, Wemby's fine. Anthony said if Wemby gets 55, does that pay off value? I mean, technically it's around 5x.
It's at 5x on DraftKings.
Yeah. So you want more, and he can get you more points on FanDuel because he's blocking shots and getting steals, and you have the extra points there for that. So 9 stocks last game. You add an extra point to that, you're getting 9 more fantasy points. So
yeah,
I'm with you there. The NQ tag is annoying because he never sits. I agree with you. EC saying you got to play Reed Shepard anyways. I mean, if he starts, it's just a higher minute ceiling. It's kind of where the situation is there.
I disagree about having to roster Reed no matter what, because they have given us no reason to think that he's gonna definitely play 30 plus minutes tonight, right? Unless they change up the starting lineup.
Sure. Dorian Finney-Smith is ruled out. Thanks, Ime.
Okay, well, that actually does kind of help.
One less guy in the rotation.
Yeah.
Jalen Duren, though, I mean, as much as you like Bam, it doesn't really matter the matchup. This dude is just out here just exploding right now. So
yes, everyone dominating. You get a 20-point double. Yeah. You get a 20-point double. You get a 20-point double.
Yep. And again, and you can play Şengün if you want. Nothing against that.
Yes.
Filipowski, $7,500, played 22 minutes, 72 against Philly last night.
Yeah, I talked about a power forward already.
Okay. Let's see. Where do you go next then? I feel like we ran out of players last night at center as well. We just kind of were like, I mean, Wendell Carter at 54 would be a guy I do have a lot of interest in. And then it was Clell Ware.
It's okay. So. Yeah, I think he's okay. It's Carter, it's Pirtle, it's Ware. I think those three. The Pirtle minutes were great the other day. Played 30. So be it on the production. It happens sometimes. Khalil Ware, though, it's interesting. He played 29 minutes. He played the final 15 minutes of the game. Another situation where kind of bailed out by blowout, but he's so good per minute. And if he gets
his
the
first
minutes,
shift, he had 6.7 rebounds.
Dude, he's so good per minute. All you need is, low 20s minutes. I mean, they're just down a lot of rotation pieces. They're down or guys that could be in the rotation. And, if they go hot hand approach, Khalil Ware is going to play over someone like Pelle Larsson. So, hard not to just be attracted to the upside here at 4,900.
I'm with you. And then Anthony Gill is getting ownership.
It's 45. Disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't have objection to it, but also you look through, like, he's had plenty of games where he's played 30 minutes and has barely paid this off. It's not as if he's like this, oh, we got to get to Anthony Gill because he's such a good fantasy player. He's like,
True.
He's the veteran on the team that they keep around.
Yep. Renee asked if he can play where with Bam.
I think you can. Typically I would say it's a max 1 situation. It makes you wish that one of them had power forward eligibility, but Miami has now played Ware 29 plus minutes in back-to-back games, and Bam's played 35 plus in each of them. So I think it's kind of a situation where, like it was earlier in the year when they were starting Khalil Ware, when
Anthony Gill officially in, by the way. So
honestly, that makes life way better, because I just didn't want to have to deal with the Julian Reese and Leaky Black stuff.
Yeah,
honestly, I just didn't. I did not want to deal with it. And for all we know, Julian Reese might start, right? Mm-hmm. He might start anyway. Because Washington is what they are. But I'm honestly glad. I don't want to be playing that Washington situation anymore. Yeah. That makes it a little bit easier. But I do, Renee. They've had Khalil Ware in the closing lineup in back-to-back games. Like, he has closed in a blowout, and he closed in the Miami or in the Houston game that they won by 10. He played the final 15 minutes in that game too. So I think Spoelstra is just looking at it from, earlier in the year. If you guys were watching, like, we were just telling you can't play Khalil Ware. Spoelstra hates him. Every time he gets in front of the mic, he wants to tell you that he hates him.
And Khalil Ware's like, it's kind of weird that he keeps grabbing on me like that, but all right.
Oh, am I back?
Did you blip out?
Yeah, I blipped out for sure. I did the little.
I didn't think I lost you at all.
Oh, okay. Maybe the show just glitched. I don't know.
That happens. Yeah, it's welcome to Restream.
Welcome back, James. Thanks. That would have been nice to welcome me back, but all right, John. Yeah, Khalil Ware I think looks good, and I do think you could play him with Bam, based on how both of them are being utilized.
Okay. Anything else at center?
Anything else at center?
Yeah, Ronnie asked for Pirtle. We were good on him. Okay, got the minutes. We're fine. Tougher spot, obviously, going against Minnesota. Rudy Gobert and whatnot, but it's fine. Do you think the Pistons win it all? No. I think the Boston Celtics win it all. Jason Tatum back tomorrow. Anyways, get that out of the way.
Yeah,
all right.
10 months. I was watching the original return from Achilles, way back in the day, was 10 months, and then it expanded to 15 months, and now Jason Tatum's trying to.
Well, he had the procedure done. He had
the expedited,
the first guy ever
the expedited,
to have it within 24 hours of tearing the Achilles. So
yeah.
Do you think playing some chalk?
Do you think that he had that planned out?
Had to, right? Probably hey, if this ever happens, because. Was he dealing with a calf before? Or did it just randomly blow on him? I guess
it's possible.
They have to have protocols, I would imagine, in place for it to happen that quickly. So
instead of writing a will, he wrote an injury manifesto.
Or just the Celtics medical team was hey, if this happens, you can do 1 or 2. What do you want to do? Sure. And he was just we'll give it a go here. So
what's wrong, TC? Talk to us. This is a safe space. I don't know what blip out means, but shout out Blippy if that's what you're talking about. My son used to like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Let us know though, TC. We're here. We were answering. You said Reese all the way. But we said Gil was in, so hard to go there.
Can we Doug has wanted to play Svi Mihailuk all show. Let's just comment on that real quick.
Okay.
I don't want to play Svi Mihailuk. Yeah, he's a $3,500 shooting guard. But they have typically played him and then sat him every other game at this point. And now there's no Keontae. So in theory, Svi is probably going to be in the rotation.
I'd be more apt to get to Holland, but know that Stewart's back. So there's.
Yeah, you can't. It's you just probably can't.
You're just throwing darts at that point. So
I think where I would edge Svi, even though there's more DMP risk, is that they're so shorthanded and it's Washington.
yeah,
Like Holland has a lot of competition and he faces the Spurs.
sure.
Oh, Preffy's been watching the show for a while. If he's answering Derek White, he knows. Preffy knows ball.
Derek White is the glue to the team because he can be the best player on the floor at any given time. But if you're telling me literally you're starting a pickup game and you get to pick the first pick of the Celtics roster, you're not taking Derek White first. You're taking probably Jason Tatum, maybe Jaylen Brown. Honestly, at this point, like they're right there.
Dude, have you seen the way too many Jalen's in the NBA song?
No, you missed C coverage, and he asked Clayton or Gobert. Clayton or Gobert? Claxton or Gobert?
It's got to be
Probably Claxton or Gobert.
Rudy.
Okay. How did you feel? Where's
There's
Edwards? Not. Edwards is the main spend, but we don't know.
I don't think you don't have to. I don't think you have to. Bam at 84. Double center.
Double center where and Bam?
Yeah, we had the question from Renee.
I'm just reconfirming.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a contrarian way to go.
Okay, would you go Melton? Or like where are you at? What's your guard play today?
Guard play.
Castle getting the ownership.
Yeah, I think Fox and Castle look good.
Pick one, Fox or Castle.
I will go with the lower owned, whoever it is.
That is De'Aaron Fox. All right. Fox, Bailey, Riley, Ware, Bam, shooting guard, forward, remaining $6,000 per player. Again, there's no overwhelming like chalk spend up. Will Riley and Ware over 30%. They're the only two. We'll get these updated over at Fantasy Alarm for you guys. We'll have the preview show for Friday's slate tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you later.